My name is Isa. I am in San Diego, California right now, and I have Sarah and Ander with me, a very special guest who you're going to learn much more about very soon. Sarah, Ander, where are you based?
I am coming in from downtown San Francisco, California. So not quite San Diego, but just a little bit north.
Yeah, we're in the same state. Oh, Todd's in Temecula. You're not far at all. And Tangi, that's a fun name, Tangi, of Dallas. So we know Tangi and Todd can see us. Can all the rest of you see us? Let us know in the chat and hear us where you're from. And that way we know you can see us. Awesome. Jay, Antonio, Colorado, or no, Antonito. Ooh, that's fun to say. West Virginia, excellent. And you'll see Simona in the chat as well, all of you. Simona, it works at ConvertKit, and she will be helping you all in the chat, answering your questions. So please say hello to Simona, and she'll be there as well. And I see we've got some people from Australia, so we're officially international. I'm always looking out for that. I've got a couple in Australia. What time is it in Australia? Thank you so much for joining us.
I see Laura is from Mill Valley, California, and that is the town that I grew up in. So that is very interesting and random, but welcome, Laura.
Wow, I love webinars. I love live. It's so cool. And we got hungry, and it's 8 a.m. in Sydney. I think someone said it was Friday too. 5 a.m. in the Philippines. Irene, you woke up early for us. That's pretty cool. Hi, Jennifer from Iowa and the UK, 9 p.m. We've got some people, it's like Friday. We could be partying it. It's like Friday for some people. We're still behind you, and over here in the US it's still Thursday, but thanks for bringing your Friday to us. And last thing, Michael is from Orlando, and I wasn't quite, well, no, I was born in Orlando. Oh my gosh, I just didn't grow up there. I grew up a little bit later. So interesting. Now, Sarah, where were you born? Just in case someone's here. Oh, can you hear Sarah? Andrew, did you hear Sarah where she was born?
At the moment, I can't hear Sarah.
Okay. Sarah, can you try one more time?
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
So
I was
good.
born in Ottawa, Canada.
Oh, yay. Anyone from Canada here? I feel like I usually have some people from Canada, so there's got to be someone.
I think I saw a couple there somewhere. So
Yes,
yeah,
think
I'm
so
sure
too.
that there's some Canadians here.
And Alicia from Spain. Well, welcome. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day, out of your Thursday, your Friday. Some of you waking up early from all over the world. We have been planning this for months, and I'm so excited that it's finally here and that all of you are here. Please be active in that chat the whole time. We will be watching it. Simona will be watching it. We want to hear your reactions, your thoughts. If you have questions, especially questions you really would like us to answer, those you should put in the Q&A box. So just click on that Q&A box, answer your question, and then we will either type an answer to you or we will answer it live. So definitely do that. Use that Q&A box. We will especially be checking it at the end. Simona will be checking it all throughout. And please comment. Tell us about your businesses. Tell us what you're doing. Help each other. This is such a neat opportunity to be with all of you live. So please, please use that. Now I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and get going because you all are here. You're on time, and I am so happy to get this going, and especially want to get to all the amazing things that Sarah is going to show you behind the scenes of her business. So let me know if you can see my screen by telling me in the chat your favorite TV show or the last TV show that you watched. So that way I know you can see this screen. My personal show that I've been watching a little bit lately is Boy Meets World. Been going back in time. All right, good.
Blast from the past. Wow.
Very, yes. We've got New Girl, The Office. Oh, I love The Office. This Is Us. Oh, you don't watch TV, Maria? Just you can tell us your last great book. I love books too. Game of Thrones. Yes, I'm always selfish and I ask this question because I always just like to learn about new shows. I'm a TV person, and it tells me how much I like you all and your tastes. And this is a really good group. Some good taste here. So thanks for sharing that. So glad you can see my screen. So we are going to be talking about how to increase your conversion rates with landing pages and email automations. And I've got Sarah here and Andrew here, and they are amazing, and they're going to be teaching you so many great strategies to help you grow your business. That's what conversion rates are really all about, right? It's turning more website viewers and email subscribers into buyers, into customers, into clients. And that's what we want to help you get even better at by the end of this hour. My name is Isa, and I'm the webinar producer at ConvertKit, and we're an email marketing software company, and we exist to help creators earn a living. So that's why we do workshops like this. That's what we're all about. This is actually my desk, a picture of my desk. It's a plaque that our CEO, Nathan Barry, made for us. He's a woodworker too, which I just think is cool.
Really? Did not know that.
Yeah, he is. I feel like he'll probably build a house one day, from his hands. That's just the kind of person he is, but he made these for us and it's so cool. So that's where we're coming from. We'll share a little bit about ConvertKit, we'll share about Instapage, and we'll, share with you some free stuff and some things that you can get at the end. But the training and the strategies that you're going to learn throughout this hour will be applicable no matter what tools you're using. So we're just excited that you're here because what all three of us really care about is helping you grow your business. That's why we all do what we do. So that's what we're going to be sharing for the most part in this training. One thing that I know about email marketing that I wanted to share with all of you is that email marketing helps people earn a living. So that's how we do what we do on our side. We did a survey last year and found out that those who were using email marketing earned 447% more revenue than those who weren't. So that's that email marketing piece that Sarah's going to tell you about. And she's also going to talk about the top of that funnel, which is a great landing page, which is what Ander is also going to share with you when it comes to what Instapage is, what landing pages are, and how you can make sure yours is set up in the way that's going to lead people down your sales funnel and create more buyers and then more advocates for you as well. So we're going to be diving into how to make a funnel for your business and what strategies really make that work. So I'm very excited to be sharing that with you. And I'm really excited that Sarah Doody is here. So Sarah is a UX design consultant, writer, trainer, and speaker, and she helps companies assess product ideas, understand customers, and design and launch products. And she's the founder of the very successful UX Notebook. And Sarah, real quick, for anyone who's like, what is UX? I would love to hear from your words. How can you explain that?
Sure. You guys can hear me, right?
Yes.
So user experience is really all about making the website or app, whatever it is, easy to use. That's the bottom line. So whether that's checking out of a hotel site, booking a flight, signing up for a form, it's about how do you make it as easy to use as possible.
Yeah, so having Sarah here is kind of a big deal. We're very excited. So we found Sarah because she is both using ConvertKit and Instapage. So we thought she would be such a great person to show you behind the scenes. In addition, her expertise as a profession is someone who understands what makes a website really great for a user. So it's a really big deal that she's here. We're so excited and thankful to have her. And so you'll be getting a lot of amazing expertise from her in just a little bit. And to see the behind the scenes, which is just, I can't thank Sarah enough, y'all. She's doing this out of just the goodness of her heart to share the behind the scenes of what she really does in her business. Not everyone does that, and it's super authentic and super amazing. So I hope you all are as grateful as I am that she has taken time to be our guest here today. And then Ander is also here, and he's the marketing educator at Instapage. So he hosts an advertising influencers podcast and specializes in segmented advertising, marketing automation, multimedia storytelling, and business journalism across all the things, all the mediums. So we're really excited to have Ander here. He's going to be sharing a little bit about what he knows and his expertise when it comes to that first impression that people get of you online, that landing page, and how you can make sure that you are implementing a really good landing page strategy so that you are really drawing in the right customers and getting more and more of those visitors to take that action that you really want them to take.
Thank you for those kind words, Isa.
Of course. So what you all are gonna learn here is what you need on your landing page to turn more website visitors into subscribers. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about how to set up the email marketing automations that will help turn subscribers into customers once they have gone through that landing page. And then the most exciting and important part is learning all that through a behind the scenes look at how Sarah is using Instapage and ConvertKit to grow her business. So how she's using those strategies. As I mentioned, we'll be talking about ConvertKit and Instapage at the end. We'll be sharing some free stuff and some discounted stuff, and the platforms are pretty cool. We all love them, so that is one of the reasons we're here, but we're going to be talking about marketing strategies that you can use regardless of what you're using. So I'm very excited that you all are here. And before Andrew and Sarah jump in, we just want to learn a little bit more about you in addition to where you live and what time it is. So the first thing I want to know is who we have here, which platform you are currently on, if any. So please let us know. You should see a poll pop up. Let us know if you're just using Instapage, if you're just using ConvertKit, if you're using both, or maybe you're not on either. That's totally cool too. So just let us know. We want to see who's here so we get a sense of where you all are and what you're using and where you're at. Someone has no idea what Instapage is. Barbara, then you're in the right place. That's what's coming next. So Andrew's going to tell you all about that. So it looks like the majority of you are on ConvertKit, and then we've got a couple people on Instapage, a couple people just like Sarah who are using both, so that's awesome. And then quite a few of you who still aren't using either. So this is going to be great for you because you're going to really learn a lot about both. Excellent. Thank you all so much for doing that. So the next one I want to know is how many email subscribers do you have? This just gives us a good sense of kind of where you might be at in the email marketing funnel world. So you should see another poll come up and let us know where you are at with that. So it looks like we've got about 35% of you so far as they're coming in are at that beautiful number 0. Like you're just getting started. I love the 0 subscriber people. You are taking those first steps to take time out of your day to do a workshop, to do a webinar, to start learning. So that's fantastic. The majority of you, it looks like 34% are just getting started. And then everyone else is across the board. So some 1 to 100, still kind of getting started, right? And then we've got a couple who've got 100 to 1,000, and then a couple of you having some more. So that's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. And then I would love to know in the chat about your business. And I find the best way to know about that is, what is the thing that you sell? What is your service? What is your product? And if you have many, you can kind of give us just a sense of what it is that you do. So I would love to know who we have here. Financial planner, baby shoe bronzing services. Bob, I've never had someone who has baby shoe bronzing services. My mom had a baby bronzed shoe of me, which I didn't even understand what it was for like years. And then I was like, oh, wow. So I'm so glad that that's still alive. Lots of really cool stuff coming in. Someone said candy. I would love to know more about that. I can see we have a lot of really unique things. It's going so fast, which makes me so happy. Books and art and probiotic cleaning solutions. Alicia's creating her first online course, floral art, proofreading. This is why I love what I do. And I love business because you're all working to solve really unique problems or provide really unique, beautiful art like bronze shoes to the world. And I think that's wonderful. And we want to help you do more of that. That's the whole goal of this next hour. Help more people get baby bronze shoes and sales consulting from Susan and all of the great things that you're doing. And candy, sugar-free, fat-free, gluten-free candy from Sean. So that's what this is all about. How do we sell more candy? So we're going to be talking about that. And I'd love to know, what would increased conversion rates mean for you in your business? You know, what are the goals that you're trying to reach with your business? Are you full-time? Are you part-time? Are you trying to go full-time? Are you trying to, hit a certain income goal or just a certain lifestyle goal? What would more conversion rates mean for you and your business? Jim wrote money sign, money sign, money sign. That works. Some people want to go full-time, increase revenues. Awesome. And then the very last question I want to ask you all is, what are you struggling with most right now when it comes to conversion rates and making more sales on the internet especially. So when it comes to landing pages, email marketing, what are you struggling with right now? What's that thing that you're hitting up against that you don't know how to do yet, or you're struggling? So we've got how to create a landing page. Chris, excellent. We are in the right place. Specific how-tos, SGT Sloan. So that's good. We're really going to be talking about that, exactly what to do. Just understanding how to make it all work. Content for value-adding offers. Awesome. So I'm glad to see that. So you're in the right place. So that is definitely some of the stuff that Sarah and Ander will be talking about. And so that's what's going to happen next. We're going to go behind the scenes with Sarah, and she's going to share with us exactly how she's doing and how she has done the things that you all are talking about. And this is such a privilege because you all know, like on online, when it comes to online marketing, there's all of these things you're hearing every day about these secret formulas, and here's what you can do, and do this in one day and do that. And there is nothing like actually seeing the truth of how does it actually work and how did a real person actually do it. And that's what we wanted to do for you today. So that is coming up in just a couple minutes. First, especially for those of you who are like, what is a landing page or what is Instapage? That's why we have Ander here. So he's going to be, so I think we're going to go ahead and skip to that. So I think Ander is going to go through what are those strategies for a high converting landing page and kind of what is that all about. So I'm going to go ahead and let Ander take it away.
All right. Thank you so much for that lovely introduction, Isa. It's a pleasure being here with all of you. Love all your diverse backgrounds, diverse challenges, diverse businesses that you're working on, and really excited to share my expertise and also for Sarah to share hers as well, because she's got some really cool things to share with you guys. So I'm going to share my screen, and I've got a little presentation that I put together for all of you. So let's just talk a little bit about what Instapage is. I know that not all of you know, so I want to give you that context to make sure that you know what you need to know to get the most out of this session and what I'm about to say here. So we're the most powerful post-click optimization platform for helping teams, agencies, businesses, bloggers, and entrepreneurs such as yourself turn clicks into conversions. And we do this by offering a platform that allows you to build beautiful, conversion-optimized, and mobile-responsive landing pages without a developer. It takes just a minute to build pages on our platform. And we also offer A/B testing. We have an awesome integration with ConvertKit, which Sarah is going to show you. Our mission is to continually lower the cost of customer acquisition. And our philosophy and the means by which we believe you can do this is having a landing page for every campaign, for every single offer that you're sending out in your email or however you're going to be generating these leads. A little bit about us by the numbers. We have 120 million pages viewed on our platform every month and an average conversion rate above 34%. So something to keep in mind there is a lot of the conversion rates that many business owners, especially early business owners, experience might be 2 to 3%. And if you're even able to double that to 6 or 7%, possibly, that's going to do great things for your business. So we're proud of that 34% number. You're also in very, very good company because there are 2,500 landing pages created every single day on Instapage. So what are landing pages? And it's important to distinguish the difference between landing pages and your website. Your website is still a very, very important part of everything that you are doing as a marketer, as someone who's getting their business up and running. But your landing pages specifically function as a natural extension of your digital advertising, of your emails, and of your brand. They're not your website. The experience of your landing pages must match the experience of the digital property that drove traffic there. And your website is much better suited for somebody who is in call it the consideration phase of the buying cycle. They've got that brand awareness. Maybe it's direct traffic directly to your homepage, and they want to know more about your offerings as a whole. When you're going for that conversion, you want a page that's focused on that conversion. And as an example here, I use a product and a company that I imagine most people are familiar with, Uber. And here we see on the left side of the screen an Uber Facebook ad. And it's not for the platform as a whole. It's for a very specific component of the Uber platform. And Uber has probably done quite a bit of research to determine that there is this really, really specific audience they want to be serving this specific component of the Uber product. to. This is who they think is going to be interested in this product. If we were to go to the homepage, we're going to have to really look around to find what it is that this ad is talking about. Now, when I click on this ad, as someone who is in this target audience, there's an unofficial contract that Uber is making with me. I've demonstrated intent. I want to learn more about the Uber product. And I'm going to end up on this landing page, which has that higher conversion rate. There's no distractions on this page. There's a call to action with a form that you fill out. There's no navigation. It's very, very simple, and it's message aligned. We believe that every campaign needs its own post-click experience. And companies and entrepreneurs that are running more landing pages, running more post-click experiences that are unique to the traffic source that sent them there, see better results. And this is because of an increased level of personalization. Now, we've talked about advertising, but obviously this applies to email marketing, marketing automation, social media as well. These are both conversion focused. All of these are conversion focused things, and having that brand consistency across all of your digital properties. I see that someone says there's a weird box in the right of my slides. I don't see that on my screen. Okay, apparently it's gone now. So I guess we are all good. Thank you so much for letting me know, however. So when you're acquiring new customers, typically you might have them come in through an ad. Maybe it's organic, maybe it's SEO, maybe it's a backlink of some sort, but they're going to go to a landing page, some way to capture their email address. Then they'll get nurtured, and then ideally, they're going to purchase the product. If we scale this out even further to acquisition that's not just from a digital advertisement, they come in through that organic means, and they come in through your website, you're still going to want to use landing pages to nurture them with your email marketing, with the email marketing that you're doing with ConvertKit. If we scale this out even further to all of the different ads, all of the different value propositions, and every single thing that is contributing to this acquisition flow, we can see the need here for a page for every single promotion that you're running. What this all comes down to, and if we take a step back from marketing technology, we take a step back from business, etc., personalization and having this level of specificity with your post-click experiences and your landing pages is really about humanization and personification. We don't want to be treated as just dollar signs in someone's bank account when we're a customer of theirs. We don't just want to be another number to them. We want to be treated as individuals. And having these unique value propositions or unique offerings that are really in touch with a specific audience lets you know that you are indeed interested and well in tune with their pain points. Now, an important part of this is telling a story between the source driving traffic to your landing pages and the landing page itself. And I've got here, this is a hypothetical company. So Bed in Bed, it's not the best name, but it's a great name for a hypothetical company that might be using ConvertKit and might be using Instapage. And so we have here this woman, 3 a.m., an ad served on Facebook. We can see here that she is struggling to sleep. I would actually probably serve this ad between maybe 11 p.m. and 4 a.m. or so. I'm seeing that people are having this thing with a box here. They're seeing a box. So let me try something. Is this any better? Are people not having that experience anymore? And if there is, okay, looks like something is a little bit better. Okay, great. I'm glad I checked. So what we see here is we see this woman experiencing this situation. When someone clicks on this ad and they see this landing page, we see the solution. We see that same woman comfortably sleeping on the mattress. And it's something that's relevant to us at the moment that we see this ad. The same product is here, advertised in a different context. This guy, instead of not being able to sleep at night, instead of seeing that image, we're seeing him falling asleep at his desk. We've all been there before. We can't focus, and maybe we're browsing Facebook because we just can't get anything done. It's not insomnia, it's your mattress. This is something that really connects with us. And when we click on that ad, we get to this landing page and we see the solution. We see this bed that we can have in less than 24 hours. The landing page is focused and message aligned to the traffic source that's sending people to the landing page. Now, I am by no means a designer, and I don't consider myself one in the very slightest. And I imagine Sarah's going to get into some UX stuff that is going to help you with your design, your pages, and how they all work with Instapage and ConvertKit, or how they could work. But there are some things that I have used to help me design pages, even though I am not a designer. And capturing attention is incredibly important, especially when you're dealing with someone who is not yet a customer, where you're nurturing them, or they just clicked on an ad from yours for the very first time. We don't have a whole lot of time to make someone stay on that page and get their attention. So there are a few things that you can do to increase the likelihood that they're going to convert on that landing page. One is visual hierarchy. There's also using F-shaped and Z-shaped patterns on the page, and then directional cues. So visual hierarchy, we can see here multiple forms of that. There are a number of most important sentences on this page, and I think we can see which is actually the most important sentence, as well as the second most important sentence. If we look at the picture of the apples, that red apple is going to stand out to us immediately. And when you have a call to action on your landing page, you'll want to have the same thing apply. This is a little bit more of a subconscious thing here. We see these circles, and we might rank these one way or another internally. And maybe it'll be ranked number 1 being the biggest, number 4 being the smallest, or something else like that. But this is something that we can use when we're laying things out on a landing page to help people determine what is most important. F-shaped and Z-shaped patterns are a way to create this visual hierarchy. And this has to do with how our eyes move when we read content online. And this heat map here that you see is from a study that was done on eye tracking movement when we're reading content online. So we can see here that it's not a perfect F, it's not a perfect Z, but we can see that our eyes are really moving across the page in this pretty loosely specific pattern, if you can say that. Maybe y'all understand what I mean by that. But having your content laid out in this simple way is one way that you can also help people convert on that page. And then finally, directional cues. Using directional cues like a visual aid, maybe it's an arrow, it's someone's eye gaze or something like that. That's also going to provide a powerful subconscious effect, guiding someone toward that form and that call to action. It might be some sort of line like this. And I like this one a lot because the text here says, grow your business with data-driven marketing. And that line going straight through that call to action with that nice bright blue, it's got that upward trend that we want to see when our business is growing, when we're generating more revenue, more subscribers, etc. It also goes right through the call to action. So that's a great example of a directional cue. Finally, here is a directional cue of something that we would generally associate with movement. So a truck, something that might be moving and might be moving towards that form, towards that call to action. So these are a few tips and tricks that you can use to create these highly converting pages. Now, all of that said, I do want to thank you for your time. We're going to give out my email a little bit later in this webinar, but at this point, I'd actually like to turn it over to, I guess we're going to turn it over to Isa and Sarah, and Sarah's going to tell us her experience using Instapage and ConvertKit together.
Yes, she is. So Sarah should be coming up in just a second and getting her slides. Thank you so much for that, Ander. I remember the first time someone told me about that directional thing, and I started noticing that on landing pages where people were looking at it, ones that I was clicking on. And so I did that. I had a photo shoot done years ago, and one of them was like this, and I was like, yes. So I started putting that in some where I'm looking at my button. It totally works. So thank you so much for that. And Sarah, I will send it over to you. Thank you, Ander.
Great, thank you. You guys should be able to see my screen right now. Maybe just let me know in the chat. And I missed it at the beginning, but I heard there's some people from Australia, and I'm coming to Australia. I'm going to Sydney next Thursday. I'm speaking at a conference called StartCon, which is going to be awesome from what I hear. And I think I'm also going to make it down to Melbourne to do a workshop. So follow me on Twitter to get those details. But yeah, also I love coffee shops and smoothie bowls. So if you have recommendations, let me know. Anyway, okay, let's get started here. So before we jump in though, since there's so many new people, I wanted to just tell you a little bit more about my experience. And we'll dive into this more in the slides that I have, but 4 years ago, I had 0 subscribers, and just on Tuesday, we celebrated our 200th issue of my newsletter, and I will tell you how many people received that in a few minutes, but I will say that when I finally got serious about growing my audience, delivering them awesome content, I realized like I had this tribe of people and I could now sell them things, not selfishly, but it's a business thing, right? If I have these people who trust me, who are learning from me for months, sometimes years, there's so much trust there that I could, in theory, sell them lots of different things. So that's what I've been experimenting with over the past 2 years. And I'm really at this point where I'm transitioning my business from doing exclusively client work, working one-on-one with different companies, to splitting that a little and focusing more on content and courses and how do I leverage my audience, and of course still do client work because I just love user experience. So that's kind of where my business is at, but let's dive in here. So we're going to talk about how you guys can grow your audience even if you're at 0, why trust is so important, and ultimately how you can increase your sales and maybe get to the point where you're making a shift in your business. So first of all, one thing that someone said to me years ago, and I can't remember where, but this was a tipping point when I saw this quote: without an email list, you're not building a business. What you're actually doing is you have a little hobby going on, right? And I thought to myself, oh my gosh, I have 0 people. I have all this content I create, but I don't have the email addresses of the people that read my content. See, people were coming to my blog, people were reading Twitter and all the other places I was guest posting places, being on podcasts, but I did not have an email list, and that was a problem. So if you don't have a list, the first thing that you should do is make a list using ConvertKit to start collecting email addresses. But what happens when you finally start not treating your business like a hobby and you treat it like a real business and you start collecting email addresses, then you can get to the point where you have an audience. And my audience, it's actually a little larger than this now. I realize this number's a few weeks out of date, but I have 12,000, I think it's 12,400. We'll see in a few minutes, but 12,400 email addresses now. And that's like a stadium of people, which is amazing to me to think that 12,400 people receive an email from me each week where I give them tons of user experience content. And at any given time, I can email them about whatever I want. If I want to do Black Friday, if I want to pitch a new course, I have 12,000 people loaded, ready to talk to, which is awesome. But the thing is, guys, 4 years ago, I had nothing. I did not have a list. So don't be like me. Get a list today. But what happened is this. This is a kind of a rough timeline for you guys. someone asked about my open rate. So we will get to that in a little bit. Here's a rough timeline. So from 2014 to projected January 1st, 2018. So 2014, I sent my first newsletter out to 74 people, friends, industry friends, things like that. Then it grew a little bit. By a whole year later, it was at 562. And for context, I now grow my list at about, I think, 1,200 people a month. So growing 560 something in a year just seems pathetic now. But at the time it was good. I was just starting out. A year later, almost 2,000. But then you see something happened in 2016, right? I started to really take off. So you're probably wondering, like, what the heck happened here? Why did things start to grow last January or so? Well, here's what happened. I started to get really serious about growing my list. And you hear all these strategies, you know, get 2,000 people in 30 days and all these magic tricks and things like this. And I will tell you, there has not been a magic thing that worked for me. You know what it is? It's hard work, day after day, week after week, sending out emails, testing things out, sending out an email, messing something up, launching a landing page where a link is broken or something. Like, it's this totally on and on, trial and error, see what works, fix it, try again. I'm not gonna lie. So if you're looking for some magic pill, I am not the person to give that to you. But in January of last year, I got a lot more serious about using social media. What I did specifically, I have a big audience on Twitter, almost 9,000 people. And so I make Twitter cards, which are really, really valuable for me. I have scheduled tweets going out on Buffer and Meet Edgar. I also have a Facebook page. And so I'm always using social media in the background, and it's costing me zero effort because it's all happening on autopilot. I also make sure that every time I guest post somewhere, I'm on a podcast, I'm on a webinar like this, I'm mentioning my newsletter and giving an opportunity for people to sign up for my newsletter or get something special that they will give me their email address, which I'm giving you guys something, but you'll hear about it at the end. I also put my newsletter link everywhere, such as my every social media bio, if I'm speaking at a conference, being able to put a link to my newsletter, I just put that everywhere. And then, of course, driving people to a killer landing page. So let's talk about the landing page. I'm always A/B testing my landing page. So I think it looks like this right now, but you might get a different version. So this is my landing page over at theuxnotebook.com. I had to think about that for a second. I don't know what's wrong with me. So theuxnotebook.com. And I'm not going to go too much into this design, but this converts at an average, okay, of about 55%, which is really good. I've had this be as high as 65%, I think 70. I've done some tests where I think it was like 30. So it's trial and error. Even a UX designer like me gets it wrong a lot. So I will tell you, this is all trial and error. But what I will say over at the right is some things you'll notice. There's a photo of me. I happen to have this very recognizable hair. So I leverage that. I have my photo everywhere because I know it's recognizable. And if someone sees me on Twitter, they'll come over and feel like they trust me because they've seen me over there. I give social proof. So there's logos of the companies that from where people work at who read my newsletter. there's tweets, etc. So if you go there, you'll see a lot more about what I've done on that landing page. But here's the thing. Your newsletter sign-up page is not enough, because I relied on just a little landing page for a while. And as great as they are, I really started to see things take off. So what I'm trying to say is you need to think of how you can give people more than one way to give you their email address, because it's not always that interesting for you to say, get my newsletter. Like, is that the best call to action? I don't know. So to not just rely on that, I do other things, such as a webinar sign up. Come to this office hours, come to this thing like you're on right now. Give me your email address to get this free guide, this free checklist, this free template, this thing. Free email training where maybe you send them 3, 5, 6 emails on a topic. What I would not do is just regurgitate a blog post into a PDF and put like a cute title page on it, because that feels gimmicky. The way that I treat all my opt-ins is I think I want people to learn something and I want them to take action. So everything has to meet those criteria. And I make them a promise, such as how to do this thing in Trello, or how to do your first research project. And I give them the steps to do it. So don't just be lazy and take a blog post and PDF it and call it a day. Next, I want to show you some numbers over in ConvertKit, and we will jump in here in a moment, but I want you to see just how much these things, other than my newsletter sign up, can really help grow your list. So this is May to October of this year, and what we're seeing is, for example, in May, 272 signed up from just my newsletter sign up page, which is good. In June, I invented a checklist for how people could do research. That got 36. It was good, but it was the first time I did that. Then in July, I did a free PDF about user experience portfolios. That did 185, which was awesome. And then I thought to myself in August, oh, I'm going to do a free webinar for people about user experience portfolios. And that got 527 signups. So I'm not going to read through the rest of these, but you can see the impact of things other than just saying, oh, come get my newsletter, or, you know, do something generic like that. So the real reason that you need to create your email list, though, is not about selling stuff. It's this, because before you can sell anything, you have to build trust. Trust comes before, just got really dark. I'm going to turn a light on. That's better. Trust comes before a transaction. And write that down, because this will help you stay honest. This will help you stay not slimy, for lack of a better word. And this will help you create lifelong fans and followers who will be with you for the long haul and who are not just trying to get some quick fix from you. So you want to build that trust before you ever ask them to buy. So how do you do that? You give away your content for free, like I'm going to show you with this one example we're going to dive in. And before we get to that, though, content ideas. I already gave you a ton. You can refer back to this after, but things like a checklist of a process, a method, a template, a worksheet, a list of resources like the 20 best tools for X. You get the idea, but don't regurgitate a blog post and PDF it. So getting more into the details here, there's really 3 steps to doing this end-to-end system of, hey, come get this thing, for you to be able to then say, hey, come buy this thing. So we are not going to cover all these steps today, but at a high level, you're thinking at the beginning, What can I offer people? What is that free thing? What is that promise I can give them for free? Then you need to set up the tech, which means your landing page, your content delivery system, and then you need to get people there, such as Anders said. You're driving people through social media, through ads, things like that. And then later on, you can then pitch them to buy that thing that is maybe an upgrade from what you gave them for free. So we are going to focus on these two middle steps: setting up the tech through creating the landing page in Instapage, and then creating a content delivery system in ConvertKit, where you're collecting their email and then giving them whatever you said you're going to give them, okay? So here we go. Our example is the following. I have a course that teaches user experience designers how to create an awesome user experience portfolio. And the way I get people interested in this is through a free PDF. One of the ways, I should say. And that free PDF is a UX portfolio handbook. So I'm going to walk you through in Instapage how that landing page works. So let me just jump over there now for the sake of time. Okay, we're going to switch screens here. Let me first show you the landing page, actually. So now we're looking at that exact landing page, and ignore the numbers in the bottom. It's just an analytics thing I have. But going through this landing page, you're going to notice a few things. It's super simple, not a lot of design. It's very minimalist. At the top, there's no navigation intentionally, because I don't want them to navigate over to my blog or my contact page or something. I want to isolate them on this page and give them just one thing to do. So I'm hitting them at the top with a provocative question, something to get them thinking. So does your UX portfolio answer these 10 questions? You know what's going through their head? What are these 10 questions? I don't know these 10 questions. I probably need to know these questions, right? One thing I always like to do is show people a photo of the thing they are getting, even if it is just a little graphic inside an iPad like I made. And then right there, I give them the call to action to give their email address and name. I'm using my photo again because of my hair, and also trust, in case people have seen me elsewhere on Facebook, Twitter, wherever. And then I'm using a little emoji of a down thing, down finger, to point, just to add a visual cue. If someone really wants to keep scrolling, which they might, yeah, I'm thinking of a hair product I can sell, Jen. I really am thinking I should do that. So scrolling down, again, what I'm doing here is I'm just building more trust. Ignore those social icons. It's a plugin I have. So I'm building more trust. I'm telling them who I am. And then if they're really interested, they can read more about what they're going to get. Sometimes people like to put another call to action at the bottom of the page, but I feel like this page is short enough that I really don't need it. So now let's jump over to Instapage. So I'm logged in to my Instapage account, and I guess I'm an Instapage freak, because look at all the pages. Actually, these are not even pages. These are groups. So you can create like folders and put all your pages inside. So these are all different pages and little projects that I have going on. My portfolio school, my UX notebook, a ton of different opt-ins. So let's go into the UX portfolio handbook, which is right here. So I always have, at a minimum, 2 pages. I have my main page that I just showed you, and then I have a thank you page, because we have to take someone somewhere after they give us their information. So let's jump into the main page. And I have some notes on my phone to make sure I cover everything. So that's why I'm looking down in case you wonder, why is she looking at her phone? So the cool thing about Instapage is that it means I do not have to hire a developer to help me every time I want to make a landing page, because Instapage is totally drag and drop, and it lets me make pages that are mobile responsive, meaning that it lets me make sure that my pages are going to look awesome on a tablet or mobile really easily. I'm not going to show you that right now, but like you can look, I can just easily drag this around. It even like shows me, it snaps. I don't know if you can see that green line, but it helps me like line things up. It's awesome. So here's the page. Totally drag and drop. Like I said, I can easily change the fonts, the colors, all kinds of stuff. So we scroll down and there's everything I just showed you. Now let me do two things. I told you that I often A/B test. So I want to show you some old versions just really quick. Okay, let's go to version D. I don't even remember what version D looks like. Okay. For some reason, unbeknownst to me, when I first started this portfolio thing, I was on a space kick, I guess. And the project had all this space branding. So I don't know, there you go. It was cool, it worked, but it matured. So with this one, if I were to go back and critique it in hindsight, I would say it was too busy up here. Like these two taglines, way too much. I should have just started with a main tagline there. I didn't need this, the Ultimate UX Portfolio Handbook, but whatever. And then this one did not have anything below. It was just this screen. If we went to the version E, I cleaned it up and it performed a little better. I can't remember the numbers, but anyway. So let's jump into the form because I want to show you how easy this is. So this is the form and here's what I do. You just click edit and then you probably wonder, okay, how do I hook up Instapage to ConvertKit? So you just do this, you click that edit, then you come to your form settings. So you can edit your button style, form style, submissions. So this is, we're not gonna go there. We're gonna go to integrations. Craziness. There it is, UX Portfolio Handbook. So then after you connect it to a form, you can add tags, which are like little tags, identifiers, whatever you want to call it, so you know what that person was interested in. So everyone that signs up for this handbook gets tagged UXPS opt-in handbook. So I know who they are. Then if I could click finish, some other cool stuff, which I'm not going to go into detail with, is after you launch an Instapage, you can get heat maps. You can hook up your Google Analytics or your, what's that called? Facebook, Pixel. You can mess with the fonts. You can do SEO. You can look at your analytics, add in special JavaScript if you have any other stuff happening. And what's cool is you see this support thing. I'm sure their support team like knows me by name because I'm always asking questions, getting help, double checking if something is done correctly, and it's live, so it's not like I'm sitting around waiting for an email to come back to me, which is awesome. So once I have the page all hooked up in Instapage, guys, then I move over. I'm just looking at the chat really quick. Okay, then I go over to ConvertKit. So on ConvertKit, here we are. This is my homepage when I log in, guys, and it's my dashboard. You can see we're growing like crazy. This is just the past couple of weeks. what happened on these days? You're probably wondering, why did she get so many subscribers? Well, that is because I did a blog post with InVision, which is some user experience software. And so I had an opt-in, a free PDF people could get. And I got, let's see, 93 on one day, 30 on the next, 18 on the next, just from that one little piece of content, 17 the day before. So you can see the power of doing collaborations and creating really custom opt-ins, okay? So what I want to show you now is the following. I want to show you the automation, which is really, automation's just this another way of saying like logic or rules or steps. So don't freak out when you hear the word automation. Now I have a ton of automations happening because it's in beta and I'm experimenting right now. But let's go to the Portfolio School Handbook automation, if I can find it. Here we go. So we're going to click into here and just let me quickly talk you through this logic. So here's what happens when someone signs up. So people at the top, you always start out and you say, okay, what are the ways people can get this? Well, they can get it through one of the forms that we created, right? So I have two forms because one of them is this special pop-up. I don't have time to explain to you why, but these are the two entry points. So it looks like 47 people recently have got the handbook. Cool. So then they come in, I tag them so I know what they want. They want the handbook. And then you're thinking, how do you email them the handbook? Well, you make a little thing called a sequence, which is just one or more emails. And when you have a sequence, you just click into it, and then you can make those emails. So after someone gets the, or gives you their email address, you have to send them the thing. I have to send them the handbook. So in this sequence or series of emails, they get two emails. Immediately, they get an email that says, open now, this is your handbook, and here it is, and click here to download it. But then the cool thing is, you can send them multiple emails. So if you notice right here where my mouse is, it says, did you critique your portfolio? And that is the email they get 2 days later, where I follow up with them in a nice, non-sleazy way. And I ask them if they took any action, if they have any questions, and things like that. So it's really helpful because, as you can probably imagine, you can then add more and more emails here. And eventually I say to them, hey, it's been this many days, or just so you know, if you're really struggling with your portfolio or you really want to take this seriously, I want to tell you about this whole course I have to teach you more about portfolios. And as a side note, I've been running that course since July, and I think there's 220 students now, which is awesome. And there's a very clear path of people getting this free thing, me building trust, me sending them emails, and then they buy it. But there's no magic to it. It's just a lot of hard work and a ton of experimentation. And also ConvertKit, I don't know if you saw, but there's a little live chat thing. Again, their team knows me by name because I'm always giving them ideas, suggestions, asking questions. So that is it. I have spoke for way too long, and I totally was not looking at the questions, so I'm going to jump in and start typing some of my answers. But I am going to hand it back over to Isa now.
Thank you so much for that, Sarah. Did you all like that as much as I did? I love seeing the real like numbers and graphs and stories behind what someone is doing online. Yes, I'm back. I was never gone. Just turned off my video. But I hope you all love that as much as I did. I love seeing the real story because you hear the real story of how much work that it takes, but also what strategies to start with. So at least your experimentation will go faster because you know at least where to start, and it doesn't take as long. And so for those of you who are wanting to see certain things again, a replay will be in your inbox in the next couple of hours. And also before you go, I want to share with you that free stuff that I was talking about, as well as one particular thing just for those of you who are live and who are still with us, just as a thank you for being here this whole time. That's so cool. So thank you so much about that. So I want to give you an opportunity to try some of this stuff out. So if you are not already on ConvertKit, we have a free month for you. So your first month free. And then Andrew will tell you a little bit about how if you are just starting with Instapage, you can get 20% off your first month, which is something I don't think they do or have ever done before. So he's like figured out
it's
to do that for you.
It's not something that we typically do. But if you are attending this webinar live and you send me an email, we're going to provide that email. You send me an email from the email that you use to register for this webinar. That's very, very important. If you can do that within 24 hours and you sign up within 24 hours, we will get you 20% off a core plan for the first month.
Yes, so Andrew made that very special for you. You are literally going to be emailing him so he can personally, put that 20%
I will see it through.
Yeah, so this is very special. This is just for this webinar. This is just for you all who registered. So if you're watching this on replay, you still have access to that 20% if this is the first time you're setting up Instapage. And then if you are here now and you haven't tried ConvertKit yet, you can get your first month free by going to convertkit.com/Instapage2017. And I also have some other free stuff I want to give all of you, including those of you who are current customers. If you're like, I'm already on this, what about me? We're going to give you some stuff as well. So the things that you will get when you set up your first free month, or if you're already a ConvertKit customer, these are the things that you will get, and there'll be bonuses that will be automatically emailed to you when you set up your free month, or if you're already a customer, you will get that email today. If you don't have those bonuses by tomorrow, just let us know and we'll make sure that you get them. Our customer success team knows that you should be getting these. So the first one is an ebook bundle of the book Authority, and that includes the digital copy, the audiobook, and then 14 case studies of people who made over $200,000 with their online content. So that's something you will get just for trying out ConvertKit, setting up your free month. And again, if you're already a customer and you're here live, you will get that too. And then this is the one that is just for all of you who are here right now. As a thank you for coming live and for still being here. It's so amazing. Almost all of you stuck around for the whole hour, which is so cool. So thank you, Sarah, for being awesome and keeping them all around this whole time. So this is a Product to Profit Masterclass. This is a video and text masterclass that is $200 that you will get for free when you set up your first free month, or if you're already a ConvertKit customer and you are here right now and live, you will get this email to you. So this really continues the conversation that we've been having even more in depth. So how to grow your audience, as well as how to develop a product that you can sell through your landing pages and through your email automations if you haven't created one already, or it might help you refine or think about new ways to do that. I've heard even service-based business people go through this course and make a digital product that they then sell through an landing page and email automation, and then that just covers their business expenses. And so doing a digital product, whether you are selling things online or not, can be a huge asset to your business. So this will walk you through exactly how the pros do that, and you will get that $200 class for free just for setting up your free month, or if you're already a customer. So this is what you will get for being here for this whole hour. And I just want to run through really quickly what you will see. So for those of you who are setting up your first free month of ConvertKit for the first time, and you go to that link, convertkit.com/instapage2017, it's my best infomercial voice, you will go here and it will ask you for your email and password. So you're setting up your ConvertKit account, whatever email you use, it doesn't mean that's the email you have to send your emails from. You can pick as many different send from addresses as you want. And then it will ask you to put your credit card on file. And I want you to know you will not be billed when you put that card on file. That is just to set up your account, give you full access to absolutely everything. So you can go in and start creating your automations and your forms that you could connect with Instapage. So what I recommend in that first free month is you can go ahead and set a calendar invite or a calendar reminder and remind yourself in 29 days, my free month of ConvertKit ends. Let me see, how has it gone? What have I experimented with? Do I want to stay on a couple more months? Do I need to cancel? If you need to cancel, you can just let us know. If you forget 35 days later and it charges you $29 and you're like, oh my gosh, I meant to cancel, just email us. We'll get a refund going for you. So I want you to know that we only want you paying for this when you are ready to be like Sarah and really commit to this and really start experimenting and do the work and growing your email list and all of those amazing things that she taught you. I know we were all talking in the chat a lot about how there's not like one magic thing. And I think if I had to pick one magic thing, I think you've all seen it today. It is who you are, right? It really is. It's having that grit and determination to keep experimenting, to keep learning. And you all are already way ahead of most people because you just did a whole hour webinar. That's kind of magical. And so I hope you know that you are definitely have what it takes to do what Sarah has done. And I'm so thankful to her for sharing all of that with us. And so I encourage you to set some time in your calendar, not only as a reminder, but also to get everything set up. Set some time to set up your Instapage and experiment and run your tests. Set up some time to set up ConvertKit for the first time. This can be a great investment in what you're doing and in your business. And I want to encourage you to do that. I used to go on free teleseminars actually, because it was 7 years ago and I started to learn online and it was these teleseminars. And I remember learning so many incredible things from people like Sarah. But what really truly changed my life, because I ended up, quitting my job, having a full-time business for many, many years because of things that I learned like this. What really changed my life was what I did the month after. Right? When I started making time to actually implement the stuff. Those automations like Sarah was showing you, those are running, automatically now, but it takes some time initially to set it all up. I have automations for my book that I wrote that I did 5 years ago. I made 5 years ago and I haven't touched and they're still running. And I got a check for my book last week, which is very exciting. So it will take some time initially, but the good news is when you invest in it and you do it, then you're done and you can move on to the other things that you really, really like. So I want to close out as well by sharing with you something that Sarah is going to be giving you as well. So if you love Sarah as much as I did and want to make sure you not only keep in touch with her, but get even more from her, she has a bonus that I absolutely love that we will be sharing with the replay, but she might drop it in the chat too. So I'm going to let Sarah tell you a little bit about that so you also know what's coming.
Thanks. I forgot to mention this. I don't know how I forgot, but to show you guys Instapage and ConvertKit in action, I made a little ebook for you that walks you through 3 steps you definitely should do to know your audience. And what I mean by that is research. And I teach about research, but the thing is, research doesn't have to be super expensive, super time consuming if you do it smartly. So before you go build a landing page tonight or go set up something in ConvertKit, you should read through this so that you really understand those people you are creating it for, because as you'll read about, it's going to save you a ton of time and help you stay really laser focused on those people. And someone asked about templates in Instapage, and for this page that I'll drop a link to, I did use a template. I'd never used one of their templates before, and so I used it, and I kind of like how it looks. Plus, there's a surprise on the thank you page too.
And I'll chime in quickly about the templates. We've got well over 200 now, I believe, and we're adding new ones. I feel like every time I log in, I see a new one. So there are lots to choose from, especially for specific things like an ebook giveaway or webinar registration or something like that.
Awesome. Thank you all so much. And Andrew, did you want to say anything else about the 20% before I close this out?
I think the bottom line is that if you want to sign up, you want to subscribe within 24 hours, make sure you email me. You've got my email address. I'm going to type it into the chat here for all of you as well. I'm going to do this right now, and it is super easy. My name, Ander, A-N-D-E-R, @instapage.com. So send me an email. It's got to be in the next 24 hours, and you're welcome to email me after that. I'm still happy to chat, but for that 20% off your first month, the core plan, send me that email, and we'll get you set up.
Thank you, Ander. And Sarah just dropped her free thing in the chat as well for all of you. And you also get it in an email. And I am so excited about this. If the number one the true magic is you, I'd say the second thing is listening. Everyone I've talked to who is making a full-time living online, they listen to their people. They read the email replies. They talk to people in real life about what they're doing. They notice which opt-ins and landing pages get the most interest and then kind of tailor more things towards that topic or towards what's working. I've yet to meet the person who just their first try, they figured it out. It's the people who really listen, and Sarah has shared some really great ways to get that started. So I'm so excited about that. And then those last questions about the bonuses, if you are currently a ConvertKit customer and you are here live, we have an automation where we will be sending you those bonuses by dropping your email. So if you don't get those bonuses by tomorrow, email us, live chat us. All of our customer success team, they know about this webinar. They know you're supposed to get those bonuses, and they will take care of you. If you are not on ConvertKit yet, all you do is set up your first free month with that convertkit.com/instapage2017. Once you set up your free month, we have an automation that once you do that, you will get both bonuses if you do it live on this workshop, or at least within the next few minutes after we end. You should still be getting that email where you will get both bonuses. And if you're watching this on replay, you will still get the book authority if you set up your free month. So we will make that happen for you. So that is kind of how all of that works. Any last questions in the Q&A box before we go? I don't want to leave any of you hanging. You're welcome for the candy shout out, Sean. I will never forget that. It's one of my favorite businesses I've ever had in a workshop. Candy and baby bronze shoes. Like, I will never forget it. Love it. So Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge, that's a fun name, asked where's the link for the ebook. So the link to the ebook is going to be emailed to you. So just look out for that. It will be emailed to you if you are a ConvertKit customer or if you set up your free month by the end of this webinar. So thank you all so much. Sunila, you are everyday ConvertKit but do not see automation flowchart way. You have to create the automation for it to look like a flowchart, Sunila. And if you're still not seeing it, just that live chat that Sarah showed you, ask them and they will definitely make sure you are all set up with that. And then, okay, perfect. Sarah shared that. And ConvertKit, the 14-day trial, would I be able to get the free month? Yes. So Felipe, just email help@convertkit.com and let them know you're on this workshop. If you're in the middle of a 14-day, but you are here, I really want to make sure you get that free month so they can extend that for you. So email help@convertkit.com and they will help you out with that. Okay, excellent. Oh, Robert, Isa, you want to follow me somewhere? Sure. Isa, add me on Twitter. How kind. And I dropped Sarah's Twitter in there as well. Sarah Doody, S-A-R-A-H, right? D-O-O-D-Y. So if you want to follow Sarah and see more about her Australia trip, you can do that. Ander, if anyone wants to follow you on Twitter, do you want to drop that?
Yeah, sure. You're welcome to follow me. I'll put that in there for you guys. It's pretty straightforward, @Ander Frischer. And Instapage is also pretty straightforward, @Instapage.
Awesome. Well, thank you all so much for being here. Ander, Sarah, thank you so much for giving us your time. Sarah, especially, I hope you all know, like, we asked Sarah to be here because I was like, I'll ask her a few questions about what she's doing. And Sarah made that whole presentation. Like, she did this truly just because of who she is. And I just really appreciate her for doing this. I hope you all loved it as much as I did. So please tell Sarah thank you in the chat. And please tell Simona thank you and goodbye. And we will have a replay to you in the next couple hours. So thank you all so much for
Thank you, everybody.
being here. Thank you. Bye.
Bye, guys.